This is CNN.
Alright, so what's your name and what do you do here?
My name is Richard Amato, and I'm the assistant principal at Hunt.
Alright, so where were you born?
I was born in Mount Vernon, New York.
What is your favorite part working at Hunt Middle School?
My favorite part is just meeting all of the students and finding out what their story is, because when you look at our school, when I first came here 17 years ago, we had kids from 10 different countries. Now we have kids from over 30 different countries.
What is the biggest issue that you face with every day?
The biggest issue, I don't know if there's a biggest issue, but what I try to do is just get to know every kid in the school so that if a big issue for them comes up, I can help them solve that.
So, what is this thing for, this paper?
That paper, all right, that's about the Vermont state law on bullying. And so I wanted to make sure that if we're going to talk about that I give you the exact words of the law, and then I could break that down into kind of real people speak so that you understand, everything that's in here.
What does this paper say?
Okay. This is about an act relating to bullying prevention policies that are supposed to be in schools, and all schools are supposed to have them, and gives a definition of bullying, which is actually against the law. It's a civil offense in Vermont. But it says bullying, in quotes, means any overt act or combination of acts directed against a student by another student or a group of students, and which meets the next three criteria. One, it would have to be repeated over time. Number two, it's intended to ridicule, humiliate, or intimidate the students, and occurs during the school day, which has a little bit of a different meaning now because school day is extended even to sometimes on Facebook. If it starts in school, it could be on Instagram. But anyway, to break this down a little bit, and when you say it's an overt act, that means it's obvious. It's not hidden. So it's right out there. You'd be able to tell that somebody was doing this, and it's meant really to ridicule somebody or humiliate them or put them down, make them look small in front of everybody else, and kind of impose your will on them so that you're intimidating them. Also, repeated over time, and really what that means is you're developing a pattern. It wouldn't be just once. If I went by and maybe I said something mean to you, that might be bad behavior, but it might not be bullying per se. But if I kept on repeating that, if I said that every time, say you're out in the hall and I'm next to your locker and I make a nasty comment to you, and that's every day, or it's once a week or whatever, that would be like repeated over time, and so other people could hear it. And again, that would be that overt action. Could be a couple guys that do it, and maybe somebody else joins in with it. And again, primarily it has to happen or originate from school. And I find a lot of times that's the way it happens. There'll be some people that don't get along, and then might say something at school, and then it carries over onto social media, and so that can all count as bullying in school.
Have you worked at any other school other than Hunt Middle School?
Yes, I have. I used to work at Lamoille Union High School, and I worked there for 7 years as an assistant principal and an associate principal. Before that, I taught at St. Albans City Elementary School for 8 years, and before that, I taught at Northlands Job Corps Center down in Virginia for 2 years as an industrial arts teacher.
So, the athletics in the school, what do you think? How good are they?
I think Hunt produces some of Burlington's finest athletes, and it's come a real long way. Again, when I first started here, there were some problems with some of the student athletes that have come through Hunt, but we have really developed a real high standard. But that really has developed into, I really think, really ambassadors of our school as our student athletes, and they're fine athletes. Just take a look at what's going on at Burlington High School, and then other kids that haven't gone to Burlington, they might go to Rice. But a number of them have been Hunt students. So,
Do you have any particularly favorite sport?
well, my favorite sport is football. I don't think anybody that's not a secret. But even though we don't have a football team at Hunt, we have the Burlington Seahorses, which a lot of our Hunt kids are on.
What's your favorite football team?
Oh, I almost hate to admit it, is the New York Giants this year, but I have a good backup team, and that's the New England Patriots. So,
What's your favorite football player of all time?
probably a guy by the name of Harry Carson. He was a middle linebacker for the New York Giants, number 53. I just I was playing ball in college and in high school when he was on the Giants, so I really loved watching him play. And I met him a few times, so that was pretty cool.